Whenever you're ready.
Showtime?
Whenever you're ready.
Let's call the meeting to order. We'll note the presence of a quorum. I'd invite you to please stand. We'll begin with the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Welcome guest staff visitors present with us here this morning. First item would be approval of the agenda. Commissioners,
I'll make that motion, Mr. Chair.
motion for approval. Commissioner Samples, support. Supported. Commissioner Carney, discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion's carried. Agenda is hereby adopted. At this point, I'd like to introduce our new district judge, Judge Dan Hawley. Welcome, Judge.
Morning.
Welcome to Aitkin County.
Yeah, thank you. I've been on the job for a little while now, so I'm already here. So thank you for inviting me to the board meeting. I don't know if you wanted me to give you a little background.
Absolutely.
So I've been an attorney now since 2009. I've been practiced almost my entire career in this area. I live just north of Brainerd in Crow Wing County, but I've been practicing in Aitkin County for about 15 years. Doing mostly family, criminal, real estate stuff was really our bread and butter. So, I know Henry Brucker extremely well. Christine Bright I see every day. Jeff Habercorn, obviously I knew Judge Celine quite well. And so, it's been a part of my life now for close to 2 decades, and I'm hoping to continue that, serving as judge here in Aitkin. Do my best for the community and for everybody involved, and hopefully we'll get things moving. So I look forward to working with everyone and applying fair justice for all.
Well, on behalf of the board, behalf of the residents of Aitkin County, congratulations on your appointment. We're glad to have you here, Judge.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you all.
Next item, citizens' public comment for items not included on the following agenda. Are there any comments, requests from visitors this morning? Second call for citizens' public comment. Third call, citizens' public comment. Hearing none, we'll proceed to the consent agenda. Commissioners?
I'd move the consent agenda.
Motion on the floor to set effect. Commissioner LaVisca, support.
Support.
That motion is supported by Commissioner Sample. Discussion. Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion's carried. The consent agenda is hereby adopted. On to 4-H. Juliana, Tony, welcome. Come on up, a podium, or if you'd be more comfortable sitting over there, either one, or both.
All right, well, good morning, Commissioners. Thank you for having us again. We do have a presentation here. We'll keep it a little short and sweet this morning, just so you can hear from the youth that we've brought with us today. But the last time that I saw you was in June, so I figured I'd come back and just update you on what the program's been up to. Oh, I do. There we go. All right, so just a reminder, you might just see me on the day today, but I do have a team behind me of regional educators that do help me out in different program areas, such as volunteer systems, operations, things like that. Those people help play a big role in helping me make sure this program is thriving. Again, 4-H does positive youth development. We help youth build skills. We also help them to work effectively, and we partner with communities to create supportive social environments as well. So we just ended and just started our new 4-H year. The 4-H year runs from October 1st to September 30th. So this year we ended the year with 193 youth and 51 screened adult volunteers. Compared to last year, we ended with 181 youth, so we are on the upswing still. You can see the graph here. In the last year, we had a little less of new members. We had 53 compared to 73 last year. However, we're still on the upswing as we're not even a month in yet, and I do have 6 new members too. So we're definitely seeing the program continue to thrive. We're seeing a little bit less of new members as we're trying to focus on the retention of the members that we already have to make sure that our program can continue to invite new members in. So the last time I was here, it was just before our big county showcase, the county fair. And just a reminder as to why we do these showcases. It's a place for the youth to show off what they've been doing and what they've been learning, and also give them a chance to reflect upon what they've been learning with someone else. So this year we had 128 youth and 6 clubs participate in the county fair. In 2022, when I began, we had 80 youth participate. Last year, in 2024, we had 118, and this year we had 128. So we've seen continuous growth in youth participating in that county fair event. We also had 8 youth this year participate in the dog show as well. And you can see some pictures up there of some of the events. We did have a very exciting costume contest this year again, so that was really fun to host. So after the county fair, we also have some regional and state showcases as well. There's quite a few you can see up there on the board, and we had some large delegations from Aitkin Go this year. To the state fair, we sent 11 youth and 4 chaperones to the livestock event. We had 8 youth go to the general encampment. We had 14 youth go to the state shoot event. We had 7 youth this year go to state horse. With the state horse and the Coliseum being under construction, they actually changed some of the requirements to be able to participate. So we were able to send 5 youth in some of the riding classes and then 2 youth to the miniature horse show. So that was really fun to see Newt and Stevie, the 2 miniature horses, participate, and hopefully they come back next year as well. We also had 1 youth participate in the state dog show and then 12 youth participate in the Northeast Livestock Show. Some highlights include at the state fair, most of our livestock teams that went down swept clean in the herdsmanship category. They really enjoy participating in that. And our beef team also placed in the Speaking Up for Animal Agriculture positions as well. In the Northeast Livestock Show, we had quite a few champions. You'll hear from one of them behind me in just a couple moments. And we did have some teams go down to the state shoot event and do pretty well together, and some individuals that did well too.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
If I may,
Commissioner Sample?
when you talk about the state, the shoot,
Mm-hmm.
are we talking archery? What are we talking about?
Yeah, great question. So the state shoot has quite a few different disciplines. There is air rifle, air pistol, archery, muzzle loading, trap, and wildlife. Did I miss any as well? I don't think so.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there's quite a few. So I have a document as well to share with you that goes more in depth as to what the youth placed in and what they participated in. But yes, the state shoot covers a wide range of disciplines, and we have a wide range of volunteers that help youth gain enough experience and hours to be able to participate in that event.
Perfect, thank you.
There's a lot of words on this slide, but I thought it was really fun to share. So every year we do something called a youth outcome survey. This just allows us a chance to look at some data. And my favorite part to look at is where the open-ended questions are for youth. One of the questions on the survey this year was, what was the most important thing you learned in 4-H this year? And these were some of the ideas that were listed. I think some of my favorite from this list are leadership, how to work with younger members, how to work as a group or a team, how to have friends, how much of an impact they have on others, how to make a motion, to never give up, and that to do your best doesn't mean to overdo yourself. So there's definitely some highlights in there as well. So what is participating in these events like? Let's ask our youth behind us here. So I have Isabel here. Isabel was currently our council treasurer. So she came into my office once a week and helped me sign a lot of checks and write a lot of bills. So that was really fun this year. And then Henry and Hudson also participated in the Northeast Livestock Show for the first time this year. So I'm going to step aside and let the three of them talk about their experiences this year.
Hudson?
Henry.
Henry, okay. Welcome.
My name is Henry. I'm 12 years old and I have been in the 4-H program for 3 years. I have shown chickens for 2 years and ducks for 1 year. And I've also shown dairy goats for 3 years. This past year I went to a 4-H camp at Deep Portage, which was so fun. I also earned a trip to Northeast Livestock Show in Little Falls for the first time with my chickens. I took my Australorp chickens and competed in showmanship for brown egg production. I ended up getting blue ribbons. For showmanship, I got so nervous I couldn't think of my chickens' breeds. To prepare for showmanship, I have a few chicken books to study, and I use some online trivia games. Each time I go to show, I learn from the judges to handle the bird better. I must bathe my chickens before each show in a 3-step process: soap, vinegar rinse, and freshwater rinse. This year, I learned that my Australorps are not the best brown egg production because they don't lay an egg every day. This next year, I'll be doing some research to get some new breeds. I'm hoping to be a part of the poultry or goat project bowl where I can compete against other counties.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Very good.
Welcome, Hudson.
Thank you. I have been in the 4-H program for 3 years. I have shown ducks and dairy goats along with foraging. This past year I went to the 4-H Deep Portage camp, which was fun. I also earned a trip to the Northeast Livestock Show in Little Falls for the first time. I took my khaki Campbell ducks and completed in showmanship and ended up getting a callback after the first round and finishing with reserve champion ribbon. The judge asked me what breed is a good meat duck. I said Pekin. He asked me for another one. I said Mallard because I hunt them. That was not the answer he was looking for. For showmanship, I use a variety of online trivia study games to gain knowledge about poultry. I also learned that each time I go to a show, I learn from the judges. I also learned my khaki Campbells are very good egg layers, and I should have entered them under a breeding pen, but I don't have a Drake. So I'm hoping next year I can raise a Drake with my ducks. This year I'm hoping to be part of a poultry or goat project bowl where I can compete against other counties, and we camp at the fair every year, and it is the best week.
Awesome.
Thank you, Hudson. And Isabel, you're up next.
All right. My name's Isabel. This is a report that my mom made me do about the fair this year. Like, she made me do it. I did not want to do it at all. I can read it off. I can read it off if you'd like.
Please.
It is July. It is hot, one of the hottest weeks of the year. You are working with animals that are hot, tired, and sticky as you. The noise is almost constant. The rides blare music. The speakers tell you that pig showmanship is next, and people and animals are talking. There is a smell of manure, porta potties, popcorn, pizza, and dust. Some bubbles float past from the foam zone, There are so many people moving, talking, screaming, laughing, pushing everywhere. Water, need water. Water, animals need it. I need it. It is so easy to get dehydrated. Welcome to the Aitkin County Fair. The fair isn't all bad. I like to show my animals in it. I get to learn about other breeds and species. In master showmanship, you get to go from animal to animal type, showing them and answering questions the judges ask you. They have started to add mystery animals. Last year, guinea pigs, this year, dogs. After judging, they count up the points and hand out prizes. There is also 4-H and open class static projects, which means non-livestock judging, and you have to be a 4-H'er to show in 4-H SAG projects. In open class, they split the projects into separate groups. Like in art, I made a swirly picture that would go under 12 to 16-year-old marker class. In 4-H, all fine arts go together, no matter your age, or if it's clay, statue, or drawing. They all get judged like that. So the judge will choose a drawing made by a 10th grader, then in fine arts, then a clay turtle made by a 3rd grader. Even if the turtle looks really good for a 3rd grader, the judges don't know the exhibitor's age. In 4-H, I show many things. My favorite was showing my aquatic ecosystem. I got reserve champion on it. My swirly Sharpie drawing in open class got grand champion too. At the fair, there are lots of food vendors. Aitkin County 4-H leases a malt wagon that sells shakes. I love working there. With the rush of waiting customers, talking with people that you rarely see as you hand them a shake, some carnival people will buy a shake or give you a free toy if you talk and joke with them. After a 2-hour shift, you get a free shake for your hard work. Next year at the fair will mostly be the same as last. No 2 years will ever be the same. I will be older and so a year closer to my last year in 4-H. I will make the most of my fairs that I'm able to show in 4-H. This year I showed beef cattle. I enjoyed it so much that I'd like to do it next year. We also will breed our meat rabbits this spring, so I will try and show some of them and their mothers. I also am trying to buy an incubator so I can hatch out chicks, so I can show them too. In open class stag projects, I will create more amazing things to show. The fair might end after a week, but it takes 2 weeks to recover after the fair. There is still more to come. If you get a blue ribbon on one of your animals, you can go to the Northeast Livestock Show and show again. There is also State Fair if you get a Grand or Reserve champion. In the spring, there is Crowing Rabbit Fun Show and many other shows to practice and prepare for the fair. In early spring, there's even Project Bowl to help you learn all that you need to know about a livestock breed. I will keep working on my animals and making more stag projects and prepare for my showmanship till next year.
Awesome. Great, thanks, Isabel.
Hey, Mr. Chair, I got a question for that young lady. Do you plan on, you said that you're ending the end of your 4-H career? Are you gonna be a volunteer, one of them adults?
Probably.
That's what makes the program grow, young lady. Thank you.
Great.
Yeah, we do have a very awesome volunteer base. That number 51 is just those that are screened, so they do an application, a background check, and then also do a safety of minors training as well. But we have way more volunteers in the program than just those 51 for sure. So what's next in the 4-H year? It feels like we're just at the start, but also we're going for it. This past weekend, we had our Celebration of Achievement event. At this event, we highlight all of the accomplishments that the youth and volunteers have done throughout the year. And then we also have some trainings coming up in November for our club leaders, our volunteers, and also our youth officers as well. And then we just have our programming and fundraisers. Project Bowl, as you heard a few of them talk about, that's really kicked off here in Aitkin County. We started with one dog project team, I think in like 2022, and now we're looking at 4 or 5 teams this year. So the youth are really enjoying that Project Bowl. We also have our Cloverbud Project Club. They are meeting again next weekend, but this is just a great way to get the littles, so kindergarten through 2nd grade together and interact and learn about 4-H. And then we also have it a virtual program as well, so they can see other groups of youth throughout our Northeast region. We also have our fruit sale coming up in February, so make sure you reach out to us if you want to get your fruit orders in. And then our spring fling event happens in March and April. So we've got a busy year coming ahead, and we're excited that we have your support behind us. Any questions for the youth?
Commissioners? Isabel, what type of beef are you raising?
I don't raise them. I leased a beef cow from Raya Gustafson.
Okay,
Nice.
She was a Hereford.
okay. One of my favorites. That's what I used to raise.
They're good.
Hey, the second presenter, young man, come here for a minute. I'm gonna give you my business card, and I want you to call me, cause I wanna order fruit from you.
Isabel, Tony, any further comments?
Mr. Chair and Commissioners, just want to appreciate the time this morning that we had to share some updates with you. Julianne is doing fantastic work, as you can see, with enrollment continuing to steadily increase. We have a very engaged extension committee that's convening again next week. And so I'll encourage anyone who has input to share in our continued youth programming with the 4-H program here in Aitkin County to share any feedback with me. Our committee will be doing their annual input process next week, and we're very pleased with the continued efforts and appreciate our youth joining today to share their experiences.
You bet. Thanks so much. And Henry, Hudson, Isabel, thanks for coming today. Great presentation. And on behalf of the board, congratulations
Yes.
on all your accomplishments through 4-H.
Keep up
Greatly
the hard work.
admired. Next item on the list is Housing Redevelopment Authority. Teresa Smoody, welcome, Teresa.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, Commissioners. I am Teresa Smoody, the proud Executive Director of the Aitkin County HRA. I have 2 items before the Commissioners. The first is for the reappointment of Edward Anderson to our Board of Commissioners. At the last meeting that I was here for a couple of weeks ago, I, with my inexperience, thought that we could appoint another commissioner to our board, trying to get a partnership going with the county, and found out by the county administrator, according to statute, we can't do that. And of course, then I reviewed the statute and found out, no, we can't. We can only have up to 7 board members. And Edward Anderson has been, he's currently our board chair. He's been an amazing asset to our board. He's very supportive of the things that we are trying to do, and I would ask for his, and the board is supportive of him being reappointed. And so I would ask that he be reappointed to our board.
And that's a question, if I may personally interject. I've worked with Dr. Anderson my days in the school board when he was school superintendent, involvement in economic development authorities, a tremendous asset
Yes.
to any organization, any committee that, or board that he serves on. Commissioners?
Yes, Chair, if I might. Do we have representation from all 5 districts on your board?
No, we do not have anybody from the, I'm sorry, I don't have the districts right in front of me.
What area?
Is it 3rd? Is that yours?
That's mine,
Mr.?
yep.
Okay, that district, we had, when I first became executive director, we had that position, that district was open. And we advertised, we tried really hard, but because there's no housing there, I guess we couldn't find any interest of anybody serving from that district. Then our board did, change our bylaws to say that our members just needed to be residents of Aitkin County. And that change, I believe, was made in 2022. I'd have to look.
No worries, just wanted to make sure the representation.
And we, the board, outside of what the bylaw said, just Aitkin County residents, our board was wanted to make sure that we had somebody from Hill City and somebody from McGregor on our board, because that's where we have housing.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Yes, commissioners, any further question? You've heard the recommendation. At this juncture in time, I'd entertain a motion.
On your recommendation, Mr. Chair, I would make the motion that we reappoint Doctor.
Thank you, Commissioner. We have a motion on the floor to set effect. Support.
I'll support.
And that motion supported by Commissioner LaVisca. Any further comments, questions? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Motion prevails, and Dr. Anderson is reappointed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Teresa.
The next item that I have for the commissioners is, we are requesting, my board is requesting that we have a liaison appointed from the county commissioners, or that the county commissioners would consider appointing a liaison to our board. Again, as we're trying to get our relationship built back with the county and get a partnership with the county, we believe that if we had representation back on our board, that what we're doing could be presented to the board on a monthly basis, rather than you're getting it for me on a yearly basis, and because I'm not a public speaker, I stumble. So, if you would consider having somebody appointed as a liaison.
Mr. Chair, if
Yes,
I may,
Commissioner Sample?
I'd love to volunteer for the HRA board.
I would support that.
Okay, let's see, we don't have a motion officially unless you want that.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor to set effect, that the county board appoint an ad hoc committee member to the Aitkin County HRA. And that motion was Commissioner Sample,
I'll
supported
support that, yes.
Commissioner Carney. It's open for discussion.
That's good with me. And so this would be two separate motions, that we do appoint one and then the appointment?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Well, we can incorporate, and I believe that was the intent of
Yes.
Commissioner
Incorporate
Sample,
it into one.
to incorporate it into one.
Perfect.
That number one, we appoint an ad hoc liaison member,
that be-
and that member being Commissioner Sample.
Yep, good.
All right.
And when would you like this to take effect? We're coming close to the end of the year. Do you want to do this the first of the year? What's your preference, Teresa?
The first of the year would be great.
Commissioner Sample, is that
I'm fine.
okay? Any further comments, questions, or discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion's carried. Commissioner Sample will be the ad hoc member to your HRA board.
Thank you, Mr.
Excellent.
Chair. Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
On the Northwoods Regional ATV, if you'd like to approach the podium there, Mr. May.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Chair and Commissioners. My name is Perry May. I live in Outing, Minnesota. And today I'm representing the Northwoods Regional ATV Trail Alliance. I'm also here today with the board members from the Alliance, probably too afraid to stand up or whatever. I also have Peter Murch in the front row here. He's representing an organization called the National Off-Highway Vehicle Conservation Council. So a couple weeks ago out in Bend, Oregon, this National Off-Highway Vehicle Conservation Council selected our Northwoods Alliance as the Club Association of the Year. It's a national award, so this award is also your award as county sponsors, yourselves, and Itasca County. So just to give you a little background, in 2003, the Minnesota State Legislature allocated funds to make a continuous trail system somewhere in Minnesota. Aitkin County and Itasca joined together with a proposal called the 70-mile trail project, which was accepted. Work began on that with a project kickoff in 2008, so 5 years after the allocation. 2009, trails are starting to be made. After that, an alliance was formed called the Aitkin County Alliance, mainly consisting of Aitkin County ATV clubs. Today, this trail system consists of over 705 miles. Over 500 miles is connected. This alliance consists of now 12 ATV clubs with trail segments in 8 individual counties: Aitkin, Itasca, Cass, Crow Wing, Pine, Carlton, Mille Lacs, and Morrison. This trail system travels through 5 Minnesota House districts, 4 Minnesota Senate districts. This network of interconnected trails is one of the largest in the upper Midwest. It allows riders to travel to the Canadian border, it allows riders to travel into Wisconsin and further to upper Michigan. Just recently, a group from Outing, Minnesota did a documentary of a trip leaving from Outing and ending up in Copper Harbor, Michigan. Many of the Northwoods Trail segments are noted as the top riding areas in Minnesota. Because of this growth, the Aitkin County Alliance changed its name to the Northwoods Regional ATV Trail Alliance because of the connected clubs and counties. The Alliance introduced trail counters in 2019. It's one of the kind of innovative steps to look at riders in the area. These trail counts have trended upwards each year now in the 200,000 plus range. A recent economic study done right here in Aitkin County, another one in northeast Minnesota, says an ATVer can spend $60 to up to $200 a day in ATV activities. That includes lodging, gas, buying goods, restaurants, whatever. Also unique, we've installed selfie stations around the Northwoods area. This allows different clubs to capture pictures of the riders who are using these trails. We've developed puncheon-style boardwalks to limit impacts to wetlands as we connect trails. Your county, land, forestry, recreational people are some of the best in the state. Our clubs work with them all the time. I think 2 of them are here. Dennis is here today and Chris. A representative from Itasca County, Sarah Thompson, was not able to make it. These folks have attended workshops on trail building. They look at innovative new approaches for trail building. They know how to work to get grant and aid funds, which makes the Alliance grow. So today, I would like to ask Peter Murch and the board members to also present you with this award as the National Alliance Club of the Year, and you as sponsorships, Aitkin County to continue this great alliance going. Well, Peter, I don't know if we could have an opportunity for a picture, but I'll entertain some.
That'd be all right. Sure, come on up and
Okay, entertain some questions too, if you have it, or.
let's get the picture and then
Okay,
we'll do the
all right.
questions.
Want to do it back there?
Yeah, come on
Yeah,
up.
then we'll have the Aitkin County sign there.
Do you want
Or
them
if,
just
yeah, if you guys wanna just line in front, too,
Yep.
yeah.
just group together and we'll stand behind you. We'll support you in the rear.
No, I'm just a spokesman.
Yeah, Perry, you better get in there on this one.
Yeah, you better get in. I think so too, considering all you've done.
Yeah.
My lord.
Get in there too.
Yeah,
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 We get.
get our
Sir,
spokesman in here too.
Please step in.
DJ?
yeah.
DJ, yeah, Chris.
BJ should be holding.
Okay. How do you want this stage, Kat?
Oh,
That's good right there. I can see
Or do you
the
want them
award. I
up
can
here?
see everybody.
All right.
Smiles. Got it. Thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Terry. Greatly appreciated.
I do have to present the same award at the Itasca County Board meeting, coming up next week, so.
Yep.
I know the two are partnerships, but I'll take the award back for right now.
Okay.
I do have one comment. Chair,
Yeah,
if I could.
commissioners.
I've received phone calls to attend the ATV Trail Alliance meetings and stuff. We would love to be there, but unfortunately, due to the quorum rules, you can only have 2 commissioners at those. So we're excited that our commissioners that show up give us a back brief on it. So we're well versed and we are supportive, and we do appreciate our land department. They are doing a good job, and so are you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair.
Yes,
Yeah,
Commissioner.
just, I'd like to say as a member of the county ATV, committee, this county and trail cooperation really, I mean, none of this is possible without that work that the trail organizations do. I'm happy as a commissioner to support the work of the ATV groups. And like you said, 500 miles, I think, are connected, and we're pushing to connect more here on the northeast end of Mille Lacs Lake. So, I'm a big supporter of ATVs and building better trail systems. So I appreciate the work that you all do. Chris and DJ have been great in trying to push through our trails.
Thank you. Commissioners, any other comments? Not, Peter, Chris,
Thank you very much.
and Perry, thank you very much, and thanks for the award.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd just like to add that, when I go to I'm one of 3 state partners from Minnesota for Novak. And Minnesota always has a good showing when it comes to the awards. And one of the biggest things that makes that possible is county commissioners like you guys. And
Thank you.
I'm sure Northwoods Alliance appreciates it and national organization appreciates it too.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. And the ATV trails in Aitkin County are a tremendous source of economic development. We both appreciate and applaud all your efforts and all those involved. Thank you. We're running quite a ways. I'm just wondering, not to put you in the spot, but would you want to do your 3rd quarter? Are you comfortable with that?
Absolutely.
Just to make the most efficient use of time. So for those listening online or those in the audience, we're going to jump ahead here because we have a time lapse to item 8, County Administrator, 3rd quarter budget report. And this too is just a discussion item. Commissioners, you're okay with that?
Yep. Do you want to go to the first slide? Good morning, Mr. Chair, members of the board. This will be my first quarterly financial update, and it literally is my first quarter here, so there's still a lot to learn, but I want to take an opportunity to give you a snapshot of where finances stand at the end of the 3rd quarter. And
just so you're aware, I will never sit here at the quarterly update and give you unexpected bad news, right? It's always gonna be positive and good, because if there were a financial issue, we would air that sooner, right? We would be reacting to it, more in real time versus waiting, till almost a month after the quarter ended.
That, Dave,
So-
is greatly appreciated.
So just,
You've been around the block.
yeah, so you'll sit here, some years from now, getting this same report with the same good news, wondering if there's ever gonna be any bad, and there won't, because that just is not a good way to financially manage the county. So snapshot, this graph just shows the three main funds, the general fund, the road and bridge fund, and health and human services fund, where most of the county employees are paid for and most of the activity happens. And so I pull those out and represent them. The general fund at this point is 67% spent and 68% revenue, which is about where we would expect it at this time of year. There's been a little bit of savings in the general fund that we're not at that 75% or 3/4 through. So all of that is positive as we're going into the last quarter of the year. The road and bridge fund looks a little bit wonky in that there's 82% of the revenue and 91% of the expenditures. I've talked to John, and there's no issue there. There's timing of payments, and road projects start in one year. There might be a county state aid payment or a contractor payment that's done outside of the year it's budgeted, and so you get those fluctuations. I think some good news: the town road account had a little more revenue than was in the budget, and so the road and bridge fund is just fine. Health and Human Services, and Carly is going to present a little bit later in the meeting with more detail on Health and Human Services. There'll be a little bit of difference in the percentages you see here versus in her report. These are using a modified accrual. Hers is using a cash a cash basis, so not an issue. So if you see a few percentage points, variance between some of our numbers, that is not an issue. And so the last column, all funds, just takes into account everything, not just the three funds that are represented, but literally the bottom line of the county. And at this point in the year, everything is looking pretty good. The next slide. In the general fund, there are some departments that have major revenues, and I'm defining major as $100,000 or more of departmental revenue. And so that's what these departments are. And everybody is looking pretty good and as expected at this time of year. The jail, for example, is underperforming a little bit. Two reasons for that. Border revenues are below what was budgeted, but they're not a significant revenue source, so not a significant concern. And then as Kathleen mentioned at the Budget Committee yesterday, we had in 2025 budgeted fund balance as a revenue, but it really doesn't show as a revenue. And there's fund balance budgeted as a revenue in this department. So at the end of the year, if you do that planned use of reserve spending, your revenue will be significantly below the budget, and that was what was planned. So again, the graph makes it look a little bit concerning, but when you dig down, it looks just fine. And then the same with solid waste. It looks like the revenues are lagging a little bit. The property tax settlement is a significant revenue in this department. The second half has not hit this fund yet. And then it also had some fund balance budgeted, and so that will never show up. So the revenues in this department will always be below budget for this year. And so, and then if you look at the total, overall in the general fund revenues are just as we would expect them. Chart 3 goes into a little bit more detail in the expenditures in the general fund. And so these are the general fund budget departments that have more than $100,000 of expenditure. And everything is looking pretty good. You'll notice administration expenditures are a little bit behind where you would expect them. You had some vacancy savings there. Those are not continuing. So that will take care of itself. And then on the buildings, just a meeting or two ago, Jim had given the update and noted that the roof projects have been completed. That is almost $400,000. That hasn't hit yet. When that hits, that graph will correct itself. And then you'll recall that overall, he said those projects were a little bit under budget, so we're feeling pretty good there. And then extension, that's a contract payment to the University of Minnesota for the program, and we just haven't made the second half payment yet. And so overall, the general fund expenditures are at 68%, which is a very comfortable place.
For third quarter.
Yep. And then the last chart just shows Health and Human Services broken down into the various divisions: public health, income maintenance, and social services. And there's no concerns, and I know Carly's gonna go into detail on that, so I'm not gonna say anything unless there are questions on that, or if you have any other questions. Otherwise, that completes my report.
Great, commissioners, floor is open for comments or questions.
No, my question was on the, buildings, but he clarified that for me. Thank you, Dave.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Very good report, a good snapshot, and thanks for jumping on top of things as quickly as you have there, David.
There's a lot of help here. Good help.
Well, given the rest of the agenda, we are scheduled pretty quick for a temporary break. Would you like to take that break right now?
Let's do it.
We'll reconvene at 10 o'clock, at which time we'll begin with the public hearing.
Bless you, Chris.
I wouldn't do anything.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, the Western Interstate Conference is why.
Summer one's down in,
Good.
New Orleans, I've never been.
That might be kind of
If I have
We'll reconvene. We'll call this meeting back to order. Next item on the agenda comes under the jurisdiction of the county auditor. Kathleen, if you'd like to make some comments, please. Kathleen Ryan, our Aitkin County Auditor.
So we received an application for an off-sale liquor license at Melmo Market in Melmo. It is I'm gonna say an unorganized city, so it falls underneath the county's purview for the public hearing. This is a location that has not had an off-sale liquor license in the past. So this is our initial public hearing in order to consider issuing a off-sale license for this location. We did do the notice to all residents in a 3-mile radius, so they're allowed to issue comments to the board. We did receive 9 responses. 1 was anonymous. I believe the board received the 8 responses that were not anonymous to review before this hearing.
And have the board members had a chance to review those
Yes, Mr. Chair.
by correspondence?
For further information, also on this license, it has gone through the licensing process, meaning it's gone to environmental services for consideration as far as ordinance regulations. It's gone to the sheriff as far as any legalities with the license, and I believe to the county attorney also. So this is the last process in that license.
And prior to calling for public comment, I trust that the written ones will be admitted as part of the record for public comment.
Correct, Mr. Chair. So the written comments that you have received are a part of the public record. There is a copy available for the public to view as well in the back of the room.
Very good. With that being said, we will officially convene the public hearing regarding the new off-sale liquor license at Malmo Market. With that being said, I would call for any public comment, and I would ask that you approach the podium with your comments, and prior to that, stating your name. So, are there any public comments? Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Denise Sani.
Denise
Sani, Sonnee. I am opposed to this permit, and it's only because it's not, I don't care if you put another liquor store in, it's a small community. A third liquor store doesn't make any sense, but that's not my concern. My concern is if you put in even another Dollar General, that corner cannot handle any more traffic. That is a very, very congested corner. My husband was almost killed on 4th of July weekend, head-on collision. Neither one of them were going fast. It's a 55 speed limit through that intersection. You go up 6 miles to Glen, and the speed limit is reduced to 50. So all I'm asking is that I know that you don't have the road authority over a highway, but I'm asking that you consider what's going on at that corner. It's a very dangerous intersection, and it really does not really need another commercial business there to bring any more business to that area.
Thank you, Denise.
Thank you.
Are there any other public comments regarding this issue? Yes, ma'am. And if you could state your name for the record, please.
Hi, I'm Vicki Voss. I did have a business in the area up until April, but anyway, Peter just wants to kind of bring in, unfortunately, in the small area, having as many businesses under one roof is profitable. When you have only one, it kind of dies down. And we all know most of our business, fishing, summertime resorts, that kind of thing. I do understand with Denise about the traffic, but really more traffic in that area is not really gonna make a difference. It's just gonna make it a little bit more convenient for people stopping for gas or a few groceries. They can go to the other door, grab their beverages, and head out. And I mean, I'm just for people building their businesses in the area. So that's really all I have to say.
Thank you, Vicki.
Thank you.
Are there any other comments regarding this issue? Yes, sir.
Actually, we used to have just one business.
And your name, sir?
My name is Peter Patel. Actually, we only in the Malmo at the business before 2 years ago, and I don't want to liquor license, but I want right now is the reason is that we have competition over the Dollar General, and one of the bigger groceries, two competition comes, so we have business right now very low down. That's what I trying to do something new to cover up the business. That's what I apply. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Other public comment, do we have anybody online that you're aware of that has indicated, okay? Just so they have an opportunity. Further public comment? One last time for public comment. If not, thank you everybody for submitting your opinions and your public comment. The record, the minutes will reflect that the public hearing is now officially closed. And commensurate with that, we'll proceed to the next agenda item, and that's consideration of the license. And as a prelude to this, I'd like to call on our county attorney, Mr. Jim Ratz. Jim, if you could just advise the board in terms of the legal parameters that we have in terms of the motions and action we can take.
Well, actually, you simply need to follow the statute as far as consideration of the testimony and exhibits you've seen today. The four factors that are listed under the statute are the nature of the business to be conducted, its impact on the governing area, the character and reputation of the applicant, and whether or not it fits the essential character of the locality or the propriety of the location. Those are the four factors you need to consider. I would encourage the board to have a discussion regarding those factors, and whether you make a decision today or table it for further consideration of those letters and exhibits, that's certainly within your discretion.
And thank you, Jim, for pointing out that a decision is not imminent for today.
Correct.
So if it's the desire of the County Board of Commissioners to defer a decision, that is entirely within your right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
Thanks, Jim.
With that being said, I'm going to open it up for discussion from the county commissioners.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, Commissioner LaVisca.
So I guess, am I able to ask questions from the business owner?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know, so per Minnesota statute, I know that a liquor store has to be completely separate from a gas station. Do you have separate entrances? Is it?
Yeah, if you guys approve, then we have bigger location, like big building. So we have to put a wall, put the separate door, and everything is separate.
Okay, it's not currently set up for it, but it can be.
It's not currently because I'm just waiting for it. If you guys approve, then.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Just a note, the meeting is being recorded and live streamed, and so if you could ask people to speak at the podium, if you ask them to respond to questions.
Yes, thank you.
I guess just kind of my thoughts on it, you know, in an area as small as the Malmo area, you know, with the businesses that are around, there already being two liquor stores, I don't know. I have questions, I guess, personally.
Commissioners? Commissioner Sample?
I guess that I have the problem with, okay, you already got two liquor stores, and now you're gonna open the third. If people don't support it, that's part of the capital economy. They'll be closing them doors. You know, I think we're going down a slippery slope when we start telling people what they can and can't do, as long as what they're doing is legal. That's kind of where I'm at. I wish Lori was here to give us a little bit more.
And I guess Commissioner Sample, commensurate with that comment, we are missing a commissioner who actually represents this district.
Yes.
And as our county attorney said, a decision does not have to be made today.
Chair, if I might.
Commissioner Carney.
Thank you. In sight of that comment of Commissioner Western not being present, I would like to make a motion to table this discussion for further review of the documentation and input from the commissioner that has the impact in her district.
Thank you,
I'll support
Commissioner.
that.
We have a motion on the floor by Commissioner Carney, tabling this matter until a future meeting when all commissioners are present. And that motion has been adequately supported by Commissioner Sample. Further discussion on the motion on the floor?
I would agree with the two commissioners that we should have the representative of that district present for the discussion.
I think would be highly germane. Further discussion, if not, we will call that question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. The motion prevails. This matter will be continued at a future meeting. And on behalf of the board, thank everybody for your attendance and your input. Thank you to Kathleen and Jim. Thanks.
Thank you.
On the road and bridges, I guess. Mr. John Welly, County Engineer. I like to do that so people listening know who's talking. Welcome, John.
Thank you. Good morning. So I've got an item on the agenda here this morning, a discussion-only item to talk about something that I don't think we've talked about in all the time that I've been here as county engineer, and that's changing some route designations on our county road systems. There's a lot of data here. I apologize. I'll try to keep it as simple as possible, but there is a lot of data. So if you have any questions as I'm going through any of this, just feel free to ask. I think I'll just kind of follow the information that I sent in the packet, just kind of go through that. I'll use that as a guide for the presentation here. And, you know, like I said, if there's any questions or if you need clarification on anything as I'm going, just please speak up. So in the information I gave you, I outlined the three systems of roads that Aitkin County maintains. The largest, of course, being our county state aid highway system. 382 miles is the size of that system in Aitkin County. About 2/3 of that system is improved, bituminous paved. The remaining third remains as gravel surfaced roadways. Our second system is our county road system. So that system is 135 miles in size. Only about 20% of that system is paved. The remaining is gravel surfaced roads. So if you look at those two systems, about 75% of the roads that the county maintains as county roads are state aid highways. That's a pretty high percentage, although there are counties that have 100% of their mileage that they maintain as county state aid highways. That's not at all typical. It's more typical to have probably a county road size that's maybe a half to 3/4 of the size of the county state aid highway system. Here in Aitkin County, we're fortunate from a financial perspective to have a relatively small county road size. Again, only 25% of our entire county road mileage that we maintain. And then the last system that we maintain is unorganized township roads. As you know, we have a fair number of unorganized townships in the county, township roads, and those townships by statute falls to the county highway department to maintain. So we maintain that system of roads totaling about 38 miles. All of those roads are gravel surfaced. So that's just kind of the background. So now I'm going to get into what we're proposing to change. And the changes are really in three categories. The main category, the largest mileage, has to do with swapping county state aid highway and county road routes. Now, in a lot of other discussions that I have with you, I use county highways kind of interchangeably as county roads and county state aid highways. For today's purposes, county state aid highways and county roads are going to have two very different meanings, as I just discussed. The county state aid highways get the funding through the Highway User Trust Fund. The county roads do not. So the main reasons that we're proposing swapping some routes between our county state aid highway and county road routes at this time, there's mainly two of them, as I outline in the memo. The first one has to do with the roads in the Kimberly area. So if you go north off of County Road 4 towards Trunk Highway 210 through Kimberly, you start out on County Road 53. That's an improved route. We put local money into that route recently. It's an improved bituminous paved route. About 3 miles north of County Road 4, it changes into County Road 5, which is currently an unimproved route, just a gravel surfaced route. However, with planned improvements in the next few years, the County Road 5 segment of that route will become an improved paved route. So just looking a couple years down the road, from County Road 4 to Trunk Highway 210, that entire route will be paved. But if we don't change the designations, the southern part of it will be County Road 53, the northern part will be County State Aid Highway 5. I guess as we've been planning these improvements for a long time, we always envisioned that when we made these improvements, when the entire route was completed, that we would change the designation of County Road 53 to County State Aid Highway 5. And then likewise, County State Aid Highway 5, as it currently meanders to the west towards Rossburg, that would become a county road. So essentially just, for system continuity, just keeping the improved route the same number and as a state aid highway. So that's the one reason. The other reason has to do with County Road 51, which is a 4.9 mile segment of county road on the north side of Mille Lacs Lake. It starts at Trunk Highway 18 in Wellthwood and goes north to County State Aid Highway 28. Now this segment of road, it's currently, like I said, county road. It's currently gravel surface, but if you recall from the presentation a few weeks ago about our capital road improvement plan, this route is probably next in line in our planning to be improved from a gravel surface route into a paved route. And that's something we've been looking forward to for a long time. The people that live down there have been looking forward to it for a long time. It will fit very well as a county state aid highway route, with there really being no improved north-south routes in that entire 11-mile stretch on the north side of Mille Lacs Lake between Highway 169 on the west side of the lake and Highway 47 on the east side. It will be a very good improvement. It will be a improvement that will pick up a lot of traffic when it is improved. But the problem is that in order to improve it, that project is going to cost, or that series of projects is going to cost probably $6 to $7 million. So currently we levy about
And John, which one is that?
County Road 51.
Okay.
Through Wellthwood.
Right.
North from Wellthwood. So currently we levy about $740,000 a year for county road construction. So if you do the math, a $7 million project, we're currently levying about $750,000. If we're gonna undertake that improvement as a county road, it's gonna take a lot of years to do it. Changing it to a county state aid highway will allow us to do it much quicker with the $4.5 million construction allotment that we get annually from our county state aid highway apportionment.
John,
So that's
just
really the second reason.
parenthetically, what does it take to turn a county road into a CSA?
Essentially, by resolution.
By the county board?
By county board resolution, yeah. I mean, so since it involved county state aid highways, I also have to coordinate with MnDOT on changing the designations.
That's what I was wondering.
But essentially, and I'm gonna explain that a little bit further here, but as long as we can balance mileage and not add mileage to the county state aid highway system, we can just swap routes and do it by resolution. Now, one of the questions I have is whether, if the board is interested in pursuing these changes, is whether you want there to be an opportunity for public input. And we'll talk about that a little bit later in the meeting when I'm done with this. So those are really the two reasons for wanting to swap routes at this time. The problem is if I were to do everything I just said, if I were to make County Road 53 a state aid route and County Road 5 as it meanders through Rossburg into a county road route, and then add County Road 51 as a state aid route, I'd be adding about 1.3 miles to our county state aid highway system. That's not likely to happen. If we were to propose that, that would invoke a process through the County Engineer Screening Board, which is a statutorily appointed board that meets semi-annually. They would appoint a mileage subcommittee to look at our entire county road system. And based on 30 years of history, what they've done with mileage requests in rural counties, they would likely recommend that we would revoke county state aid highway routes back to county roads, end up losing mileage. So adding mileage, essentially, I guess what I'm saying is just not an option. So in order to effectuate those two changes that we want to make, we basically have to pull other routes in to come up with as close to a net zero gain as we can. We could lose CASA mileage, no one would have a problem with that, but obviously we don't want to do that because we'll lose funding. So we want to get as close as possible to an even swap. So in doing that, then I guess that's where the proposal comes in, and I don't know if you could put up the map. Yeah, the map's up there. So I guess at this point, I'll just talk about what we're proposing as far as system-wide changes between CASA and County Road. So just working from this map, starting with the routes that we want to change from County Road into County State Aid highways, the blue routes. So if you go from left to right, the first one you'll see there is County Road 51, as I've talked about. Just slightly to the east of that route is a 1 mile segment of County Road 81. So that's an improved bituminous paved route. It's kind of a cut across between County Road 12 and 28. That 1 mile route would also become a county state aid highway. And then proceeding to the right on the map, County Road 53 up in the Kimberly area, you see the blue segment that would become County State Aid Highway and be renumbered to County Road 5, so it would be a continuous route. And then finally, over on the right side of the sheet, or on the right side of the map, County Road 75, which is a 6.8 mile segment of County Road, would become County State Aid Highway. Looking then at the routes that would go from County State Aid Highway to County Road, basically you have two routes. The one I talked about in the Rossburg Kimberly area, that's County Road 5. So that route would become a county road. And then if you go down in the southeast part of the county, we've got a County State Aid Highway 26 that meanders north and east from Trunk Highway 65 up to County Road 2. So that route would also become a county road. So the way we pick those routes is, as I said, just trying to get to an even balance. Those changes result in 15.8 miles, plus or minus a few feet, being redesignated from County State Aid Highway to County Road, and then likewise 15.8 miles the other way from County Road to County State Aid Highway. So that's the first component of what we're requesting. I would like to say that if these changes were to be made, nothing would change to the public in terms of how we maintain those roads, how we program improvements, at least under our current processes. Our current process, we look at county roads and county state aid highways side by side. We use the same data to determine what type of maintenance, what type of improvements get programmed. So it doesn't matter if it's a county state aid highway route or a county road route, the improvements are the same. So, again, I guess the point I'm trying to make is that if we were to make these changes, the public wouldn't see any changes in how we maintain or plan improvements on these roads. Really, the only thing they would notice is different numbers on their, on the road signs. So any questions on that segment of it before I go on to the next portion?
No questions for me.
Okay, so then the next component is just, we've got county roads and unorganized township roads, and here again, would like to change a couple of routes. I'm just gonna talk right from the map. So if you look at this map, we've got two unorganized township roads up in the north side of the north part of the county. starting at the left side, shown in the purple or pinkish color there, is 420th. That's Miller Road, way in the northwestern part of the county. That's an unorganized township road, but it actually carries quite a bit of traffic, and it's in not very good condition. We'd like to make improvements to that roadway, but we're really limited with it being an unorganized township road, how much funding we have for it, so we're really limited in terms of improvements. Same thing goes with the Raby Road. That's the other route shown that goes to the North County line. The Raby Road starts out at Trunk Highway 200, goes north until it turns into an Itasca County road that's in much better shape than ours because it's a county road. Our segment is an unorganized township road. And again, we'd like to make improvements to that road, but with it being an unorganized township road, we're really restricted in what we're able to do. So we'd like to change those two unorganized township roads into county roads. And while we're doing that, if you go a little bit further south, you see two green segments there. County Road 68 is actually a segment that, the main part of County Road 68 is between our County State Aid Highway 29 and 169, but then there's legs on either end, dead end legs that go off either end that are county roads, and we have never understood why those legs are county roads. They should be township roads. So, as long as we're taking on 2 miles of county roads in the northern part of the county with the other proposal, would like to change these two dead-end routes, back to unorganized township roads. The segment of County Road 68 in the middle would still be maintained as a county road. It would just be the two dead-end segments going east and west that would become unorganized township roads. So this proposal, unlike the last proposal where I said maintenance would not change, I can't necessarily say that on this proposal because generally we don't maintain unorganized township roads to the same level as we maintain county roads. Although, we've really maintained those two dead-end segments of County Road 68 more like an unorganized township road than a county road all these years. So, generally speaking, I have to say that, we maintain county roads differently than unorganized township roads.
Commissioner
Specific to
Carney?
this segment, that's not really the case just because, like I said, we haven't been maintaining those two dead-end segments of County Road 68 as county roads. We've been maintaining them more in line with an unorganized township roads.
Commissioner Carney.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm very familiar with this. One is the, go out to White Elk, and the
Right.
other one's Bain Road,
Right.
which is well known as Bain
Yep.
Road. Not much traffic other than that. So would Wakanabo Township pick that up? Or whom would pick that? Because it's an organized area.
Well, yeah, it's unorganized
County,
area, so they would be
there's-
unorganized township roads.
So the county's still gonna maintain
The
like
county
they
would
do
still
right now.
maintain it, right?
So it's really no change. It's just,
As I said, really no change. The one main change in how we maintain gravel surface county roads compared to gravel surface unorganized township roads is that our goal is, and we're close to it, but our goal is to apply calcium chloride biennially every other year on all of our gravel surface county road routes. We don't do that with unorganized township routes. So that's the one thing that is different in how we maintain county road routes versus unorganized township routes. But even if those two dead end legs of County Road 68 would remain as county roads, we're never going to include them in that standard just because they're dead end routes. They don't need that maintenance. They don't need that expenditure.
thank you.
So that's the second proposal, and this one, it does not net out at zero. Would be taking over 4 miles of unorganized township road as county roads and would be turning back 3.2 miles of county road to unorganized township. So we would be gaining a net of 0.8 of a mile of county roads by doing this change. And then the last change that I wanted to talk about, and this was one that just since we're talking about changing designating routes and going through this process, this is one that we just thought we'd throw in for consideration. And I have talked to the county attorney about this one, and there are perhaps some legal issues that may prevent us from doing what I'm proposing. But basically what I'm proposing is the 6/10 of a mile of 439th Lane that goes off of County Road 5 west into several private roads, but it also continues west into our Gun Lake pit that we acquired in 2012. That road, there's quite a history to that road. It essentially exists today as a privately maintained road. We maintain it in the summer when it's our pit road, but we don't do any winter maintenance on it. That's all done by the residents that live out there. So anytime you have that situation of a privately maintained road, there's just always the question of, whose maintenance responsibility ultimately is it? During heavy rainfalls here a few years ago, some culverts washed out and, everybody was kind of standing around looking at everybody else waiting to do the work, and we ended up doing it. That's just kind of the nature of privately maintained roads. There really is no one that's designated to maintain the road. So we just thought, maybe we'd try to clear that up and take it over as a county road. We've talked to the township, Fleming Township, because ultimately, instead of a county road, it should be a township road. The township doesn't want to take it over as a township road just because there are some legal issues there. There's a lot of history to that road. It started out with temporary easements and permanent easements, and there was a cartway, and then the cartway was revoked into a private driveway, and there's just a lot of history on that road, and a lot of it revolves around, a lot of the opposition that arose to development of that Gun Lake pit in the 90s. So a lot of history there, and the township just doesn't want to touch it. But the township has said if we were able to work through the legalities, if there are any, and take it over as a county road, that they would possibly be open to taking it over as a township road in the future. So, this is one just, trying to clear it up. The road does need improvements, and we're skeptical of doing those improvements when it's not our road, when we don't know what the situation is. So it would be one that would just be kind of nice to clean up. And as I said, I'm in conversations with County Attorney Ratz on this one, and it may end up that it's, not even doable. But those are the three proposals, I guess. And one of my questions for the board is, if you are interested in pursuing this, what level of public input do you think is necessary or needed? I see these changes mostly as being done for internal purposes to allow us to have more resources, more tools in the toolbox to maintain these roads the way they should be maintained, given, what they are. And that, the public really won't see any difference in what happens as far as road maintenance or improvements. But, it is change, and I know people sometimes don't like change, and, even if it's as simple as a changed road sign, I understand if there's need for
in
input.
response to Mr. Welly's question, what are your feelings?
Well, seeing that they're all in my district, thank you.
Pretty much so.
There has been a lot of conversation with the Hill City, those two roads up there, I can't name off the top of my head, but they're highly traveled roads, and I think it's a great move that you're doing to address this. And I think if we did have a public hearing on it, it would be a positive response from the people up there. Moving on down to the White Elk and the other road, I just forgot it, Bain Road. I don't think that's major impact at all. Like you said, they're traveled roads. There's a few people that live out in that area. Not many, would be minimal impact. So, it'd be up to the board if you think we need a public hearing. I don't know, Mr. Ratz, I don't know what your view on that is. Usually keeping the public involved, they appreciate that if they have a voice.
That exactly been my comment. It's not legally required, but certainly it's never any harm to let the public have an opportunity to view the situation.
Commissioner LaVisca.
Yeah, there's some pretty major changes in the third district. Again, I think that makes sense and are pretty much common sense. And if my mind is working correctly, what that would really do is give us more resources to maintain the more expensive to maintain roads. And again, we're not gonna see a lot of difference in the current maintenance, but I do think that one public hearing would be a good idea, just to give them, people that chance to have comments if they need to.
Transparency and seeking public input.
But I'm entirely in favor with the changes.
I totally agree with that. Jim, at what juncture in time, or John, either one, would you propose to have this public hearing?
Have a calendar.
As far as I'm concerned, I mean, it could be any time. We're trying to work through this process. If we're gonna do it, we'd like to try to get it done by the end of the year. And the reason for that is something I haven't mentioned, but MnDOT this year, for the first year in probably 15, I'm guessing, is updating their functional classification map. And since functional classification is directly related to county state aid highway designations and county roads, if we're gonna be changing some of our designations, it would really make sense and make the process on our end a lot easier if we could do that, you know, as part of that process, because a couple of these routes, if we do change them between CASA and county road routes, they will also change functional classification, which really doesn't mean anything to the public, probably not even to the board. It's just it's mainly a federal highway and a MnDOT thing and how roads are classified. It does have some funding implications as far as which segments are eligible for certain grant programs, but for the most part, it doesn't have much of an implication at all. But I guess, like I said, we would like to, pursue the changes before the end of the year, if the board is interested in doing it. If there's no components of this that I talked about that you want pulled out, I guess I can just bring back another agenda item with proposed public hearing dates, and we can go from there.
Commissioner Sample?
Do we have time to get that done?
Well, that brings up a good point. If we're gonna have a public hearing, I think there's a unanimous consensus amongst the board to have one. We have to meet the statutory requirements of public notice. So
Are we
going into December?
We likely would be into December, yes.
David?
Yes.
Mr. Chair, members of the board, if there's no legal requirement to hold a public hearing, if you called it a public input meeting, then you could have whatever public notice process you wanted or that John thought was most helpful to get people at the meeting. And if you were comfortable with that, you could just direct him to go and do whatever he needs to do to prepare for that public meeting, and we could work with him to bring it back in November or December.
Okay, with that being said, what type of notice would you like to give to the public on this public input session, for lack of a better term?
Well, I guess the question I would have is, would you want the public hearing just to be part of this board meeting? I guess that's what I would recommend, because
absolutely.
Absolutely.
So, and if I'm understanding what you said correctly, could we just table it for now? We'll talk to Attorney Ratz and do a little bit of research, come back in the first meeting of November with a date, which will likely be, the first meeting in December, and then we'll proceed from there.
We could, and I would just, if you didn't want to come back, if there's a consensus on the board, you could just give that direction today.
That's what I was, may
Okay.
I, if I may, Mr. Chair?
Yeah.
So what I'm thinking, there's no legal, there's no requirement for us to have a public hearing. So as David said, if we just do a public input meeting, there's no reason that we can't set that for, say,
The second week.
the second meeting of November and have action
25th
included in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Ratch?
Either one would be fine.
Okay.
I mean, certainly there's enough time to follow the traditional path as far as the public hearing.
Yeah.
Have it on the ninth with
Well, as Commissioner LaVisca said, if we can do this at the second meeting in November, December is a busy month with truth and taxation budget hearings.
And I'd like to give John plenty of time to get that taken care of by the time he needs to.
And the 25th would be our last meeting in November. That would give you plenty of time to.
And we can notice it
that correct?
this week, and that gives
That
quite a bit of
would be
notice.
plenty of time,
So
yes.
I would make the motion then that we have the meeting,
The public input?
the public input meeting on 25th of November at the county board meeting,
Can we add with action to follow?
with the action to follow, yeah.
And the time?
10 o'clock? I mean, that's
Yeah,
what we
let's-
typically do our public hearings.
10 o'clock is a comfortable time.
That's why. that
So
would
we
be
have
my
a motion on the floor to set effect by Commissioner Sample. April, do you have the wording and everything down?
Would repeat it, that would be great.
Commissioner, if you can condense
Now
that.
you're making me work, girl.
Well, just so we get the intent.
I would make the motion that we have the public input meeting at 10 a.m. on the 25th of November at the county board meeting
With possible subsequent action.
with action following. So that would actually be, does that got to be two motions?
No, you can incorporate it into one.
Okay.
So I'd second that.
Okay, motion, primary motion made by Commissioner Sample and was supported by Commissioner LaVisca. Any further comments or questions?
I think
Clarifications?
this is a really good, like,
A no-brainer.
yeah, really good idea, and I'm glad that you thought of this. It's a really good idea.
Further discussion? Call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion's carried.
All right, thank you. I'll plan to do just a brief presentation then at that 10 o'clock meeting, and we will go for there. I'm not sure that I would be able to pull together all of the resolutions to effectuate the changes at that same meeting, so I may need to bring that back.
That's not a
because
problem.
There will be a lot of, there will be a number of resolutions and, those involve legal
I
descriptions,
think
so.
that's why the wording in the Commissioner Samples was subsequent possible action.
All right, thank you very much.
Yeah.
And hey, John, then that would give you time to do the stuff you needed to do, right? In December, so that way.
Correct.
It's ready for January?
Correct.
That's what I wanted to make sure. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
And John, are you available this afternoon? I got some airport things
Yes,
to talk.
yes, I
Okay.
am.
I'll give you a call. Thanks. On to item 9. We'll fast forward. On to HHS fiscal matters. Carly, welcome, Carly.
Good morning.
And again, for those online, we have Carly Goebel attending here, our Health and Human Service Supervisor under Fiscal Matters,
Good morning.
who does a great job, by the way.
Thank you. Today, I'm here to present where our Health and Human Services budget is at as of Q3 of 2025. So to start us off, our revenues, so our total revenue budget for 2025 is $8.3 million. As of September 30th, we are at 74% of that budget, so pretty much right on track with our revenue budget. Public health is coming in at 68%, financial services and child support is at 80%, and social services is at 73%. I do want to make a comment about financial services. That is above the 75% mark where we should be at Q3. We did have a fairly good collection year for the Medical Assistance Estate Recovery Program, so we've already met that budget line item, which is why this one is a little bit higher already for Q3. And the majority of our revenues are received in Q2 and Q4 of each year. Moving on to revenues by the categories within the budget. Our fees are coming in at 68%, and the majority of our fees are collected in the fall when we do vaccine clinics and we are able to bill insurance companies for reimbursement of those costs. Our grants are at 85%. Again, some grants are paid one time a year in July, so that's a little bit skewed for that third quarter. Again, most of our revenues are received in Q2 and Q4. Other revenues are at 103%. Again, that's due to the higher collection rate that we are seeing in the estate recovery program. And our levy as of Q3 is at 61%. Moving on to the expenditures by department. As you can see, our total expense budget is that $8.3 million for 2025. As of September 30th, we are at 79%. with public health coming in at 83%. This one is a little bit higher. We did have notice in March of 2025 that our COVID grant was being ended by the federal government, but we still have access to some of those funds. So we were able to make some purchases for our building remodel and spend down some of those funds, and we did receive 100% of that reimbursed through this COVID grant. So while it was unbudgeted, it did hit our budget, but we were 100% reimbursed for those expenses. In addition to that COVID grant, we did have the costs associated to the building project that was not included in our line item budget. So these are going to be higher as we go forward just because of that building cost that we're using fund balance for. Financial services and child support is at 80%. Again, that's due to the building project with our expenses being assigned to each of the three main program areas. And then social services is at 78%. As you can see, we also now have an undesignated building project line. Once the capital construction started in September, we did move our coding of expenses into a different way, just so at the end of the project, we can capitalize the asset and depreciate that. So if we took out those two unbudgeted, so that COVID grant expenditures and the building project, we would only be about 28% over the 75% of the budget as the end of Q3. Breaking the expenditures of our 2025 budget into the 11 main categories. Our salary and fringe is at 72%. We did have a few and continue to have a few open positions. Communication services at 81%. Dues and registration is at 120%. Again, that's a smaller budget category, so anything over that budget line item is gonna affect that percentage significantly. Our utilities, right on track at 68%. Professional development is at 32%. We do see fall conferences, so that line item will increase in the Q4. Hotels, meals, mileage, and gas is at 35%. We typically see that line item at the end of the year due to the motor pool allocation. We have changed that a little bit this fall, going into more of a monthly allocation instead of a bill back to the county and agencies at the end of the year. So that's gonna look a little bit different next year. Our insurance is at 100%. We pay that out in Q1 of each year. Contracts and service agreements is at 107%. The majority of the building planning costs are paid under that contracts and services. And then materials and supplies is at 106% because we did have building remodel supplies for the temporary locations, which is all included in that building budget. Capital expenditures at 25% and other expenditures at 83%. And that other expenditures does include county burials and adult mental health initiative expenses.
Carly, just a point of clarification, just under other expenditures, for example, the 70,862 represents the 83%, correct?
70,000, that 83% is what was spent for that entire budget category. So we are over budget already for the county burials that we had thought we would incur for 2025, and that's already over budget.
But my question is, in this case, 70,000 plus, that's not the total budget, that's the to-date expenditures?
Correct, yes. So
Okay.
we are at 83% of that
Thank you.
budget line item. Then, this is just a graph, a pie chart showing we truly have two main budget categories in health and human services, our salary and expense, our salary and benefits, and our contracts and services. And then just a quick update for our fund balance analysis. We projected to use zero in planned fund balance. Now that we have the building project underway, that looks a little bit different, but our budget included zero. Our available cash balance at the end of September is $4.1 million. As you can see, we did take out that $2 million match that will be used for the building project. So our available cash balance at the end of September is $4.1 million. And then finally, just to wrap it all up, at the end of Q3, we should be about that 75% mark. Revenues are coming in at 74% with expenditures at 79% due to two main causes. Any questions?
Commissioners,
Oh, very good.
Yep, great, once again, thank you.
great report, good synopsis.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Carly. With that, on to Board of Commissioners, committee updates, committee reports. I think it's clockwise today, so begin with Commissioner Carney.
All righty. Busy October. If I can find it. All right, I had the AEOA meeting. The new executive director is taking over the helm with the predecessor fading out. Everything goes good. Budget looks good. Then we had the ACA meeting, Associated Counties. We elected to keep Mr. John Ungaro for another year as our quasi lobbyist, and he'll be keeping updated with the legislative session when it reopens. We had the District 1 meeting in St. Louis County, a great turnout, great report, a lot of exciting things in AMC that's going to be happening. One of the items is called Nuts and Bolts. It used to be called the New Commissioners Training. They've expanded that to encompass all commissioners. So it's no longer just for new commissioners, it's for all commissioners to come in, and they have a big scope of subject matter that they'll be training on. I was fortunate to set in on a government tribal meeting in St. Louis County. It brought all of the tribes in, chiefs, along with county commissioners, administrators, and we really had a good sit-down talk to find a path forward for collaboration. After the meeting, I was able to get with, if I say this right, Mr. Chief Wind,
Yes.
Virgil Wind, and he has been receptive and contacted our administrator, and we're going to set up a meeting to meet with him and his aides to find a path forward that we can work together on items of health and human services, clear water, many of the subjects that we deal with, they deal with also. So that was good. Let's see. Other than that, I have the biannual conference scheduled for Breezy Point for the Mississippi Watershed, or Mississippi Headwater Board on the 31st. I believe the administrator, you're going to be attending that one this year, or?
I will check.
Okay, well, we'll circle things. And then I elected to join this 9-week training course called Leadership on Purpose. I'm in my 3rd week. It's a great training on leadership and motivation. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Samples?
Well, AIS. AIS meeting, I guess we're having it at the end of the week.
Yeah, the last I heard, it's going to be on Thursday.
At 1:30
at 1
The Highway
PM
Department.
At the Highway Department.
Facilities is Friday at 1 PM. The opioid committee, we approved on the consent agenda the 2 groups that were asking for money.
Right.
And that was the main part of that. I had a meeting with Congressman Stauber. And we had a one-on-one discussion about the Big Sandy Lake Association, or actually the property and the Corps of Engineers on Big Sandy Lake. We're gonna have a meeting at 3 o'clock today with Mr. Ratz and our assessor and the key players from the county, because Congressman Stauber is gonna have a meeting with the Corps, and we're gonna give him talking points on what could happen if they don't give the land back to the people like we made that resolution.
Right.
So we're just giving him talking points for us and why it's so important for us. Airport Commission canceled.
Winner.
Yeah, winter. So that's about my committees as a whole. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner LaVisca?
Okay, I had, let's see, where do I start? The Historical Society has started re-roofing the old Depot Museum. Most of the roof is tore off and they're getting ready to start putting some back up. They were able to get, a lot, if not all, I don't remember, the coverage by MCIT for, storm damage.
Right.
On the existing, tiles. So that's definitely a big plus for them, cause I know there was some major leaks up in that roof.
I know
So
this has been a perennial discussion. Were you able to find close to matching tiles?
they had to find close enough.
Match,
it's-
meet
yep.
the Historical Society?
Yep, so it has to match close enough with for the registry, so,
That was an ongoing problem for many
yep,
years.
and I believe, it's not like the old clay tile, it's more of a synthetic, but it's a replica, basically, which obviously is a lot cheaper. So they got that going, which is good. I toured, American Pete Tech with Congressman Stauber last Friday, and some other leaders in the area, the, Mayor Tibbetts and some of the other local leaders were there, as well as members from the Mille Lacs Electric Board. We looked through the old Aitkin Ironworks building, which they're looking at buying out, American Pete Tech, and bringing in a lot of new jobs, beautifying that front facade again and revitalizing that. And in that, in that plant, they'll be doing a lot of their research and development type things, looking at some processes that they currently outsource, doing them in-house, and really expanding their business and their capabilities, and adding, I think, up to 12 to 20 new full-time jobs in the community.
Wow, nice.
So it's a massive investment by American Pete Tech, and really looking forward to that. Had Lakes and Pines, just kind of went over some grant opportunities that they're looking at. Looking forward to November 1st with the federal shutdown, they're looking at an end to SNAP benefits and some other things. The cash assistance, as they know right now, is supposed to remain, but things like SNAP are gonna go away as of November 1st, unless they can get that government up and running and fund those things. That's also gonna potentially cut into heat assistance going into winter, if things aren't straightened out. We had a JET meeting, talking about the government the federal shutdown there. Luckily, most of the programs that JET runs are prepaid, they're already pre-funded. So they're not a reimbursement, they're funded and then spent down. So a lot of those programs are still okay. They've been approved or were approved last month for running an in-depth program for all the miners that were laid off and trying to get them back into the workforce in some way, new training, whatever they need to do to get them back and working. And then we had budget committee yesterday and kind of touched on some of that. We shifted some things around, which you guys will get a full, I think, presentation on coming up here, but with the health insurance increase that we did see, we shifted some things around to remain at that preliminary budget levy for now. That's all I got.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, I did forget about the economic development where we talked about future housing and the funding for that. So I was hoping Mark was gonna be talking today, cause I was gonna have him kind of give a brief on where they are with the 4 main developments that we're working on underneath the economic development and the funding we've set to help developers and potential developers into this area.
Nice.
And more good news coming out of that meeting too. The Economic Development Committee they're making good progress on the new apartments out by the hospital. In fact, it's going so good for them, that they're going to expedite and move up the starting point, hopefully, for the senior citizen.
Well, that's great.
And you've got a number of people who have technically pre-registered as future tenants in the workforce housing to transfer into the senior housing. And
Nice.
this is gonna open the floodgates, because for a lot of the people that are moving, that's going to open up a house or a farm or something within Aitkin County. It's a ripple, very positive economic effect. So,
It was a massive need because a lot of our seniors, you know, they don't need the assisted living setting or they don't need the lower income setting. They want that market value, nice place where they don't have to maintain their farm or their lake property anymore, but they have a nice place to go live and that's,
They
it's
can
gonna
hand
open
it
up a
over
lot of
to their,
properties.
to their children and grandchildren.
it's gonna have a very positive chain reaction, effect for the entire Aitkin County. See, on to, well, just segue a little bit on Commissioner Samples' meeting with, Congressman Stauber, and you as well. I happened to piggytail on with the chairman of the Aitkin Township and one of the members of the Aitkin City Council, and had a nice little sit-down chat with the, so we were able to talk county, city, and township issues with him. He's very receptive. And he has a new field rep for this area.
Cara,
Kara.
yeah.
Kara. Very responsive. I brought up a number of issues that morning, and by the end of the day, I had responses.
Oh, good.
And I think Commissioner Sample, you've experienced the same.
Yeah.
Probably,
Yeah.
probably you too. The Budget Committee yesterday, I was, remotely attended, but as Commissioner LaVisca pointed out, that 5.24% preliminary is holding pretty steady. And I don't think there's any motivation to move on that or to change it at this point. Obviously, we want to always keep it as low as possible.
Oh, and with that, as it sits right now, because sorry if to piggyback or remember.
No, go.
We did get our capital, tax statement or, you know, how much we're gonna get on capital, so we're actually slightly reducing the tax rate at the current.
What is it, 31?
30.12, I think, 31 point, yeah, so we're actually slightly reducing the tax rate from last year.
Very good. Aitkin Economic Development Authority met and granted a business partnership loan to Hanson Insurance Agency. And they're actually right across the street, close proximity to the Ironworks building or the American Peat Technology building as it is now. And I did, is it Tamara?
Tamara, yeah.
From APT, had a nice meeting with her. And I further advise that through the Aitkin Economic Development Authority, that, you know, considering they want to improve things, that we do have storefront loans available at 0%. So hopefully they can, and there's funding available, that they can capitalize on that. Yesterday also had Brainerd One Watershed One Plan meeting, and it was fairly routine. There was a good presentation from Todd County, who are one of the 4 participants in this watershed, Aitkin, Todd, Crowing, and Morrison. And something they did with Swan Lake, it's by Swanville in Todd County, in terms of improving the clarity, water clarity, and it's a process called alum, where they hydrate this into the lake. And within 2 weeks, it brought the clarity from like 3 feet to 13, 14 feet. I mean, it was phenomenal. Very expensive, I might add, but very effective also. Aitkin Airport Commission met, and again, a lot of routine things. There was a renewed optimism on the part of Bolton and Mick in terms of our new terminal building and the funding. And Nick was quite optimistic, more so than in the past. No guarantees, mind you, but he said based on some new findings that he was feeling pretty good about it. There are some applications pertinent there too, which are pending. We're not gonna submit those until the government reopens, or it's gonna get lost in the shuffle. I think that is pretty much all that I had.
Okay, I'd just like to remind the board, I will not be here on the 9th, the first meeting. I have business meetings for Forgotten Heroes down there. But our economic development guy, Mr. Jeffers, made some beautiful brochures. So I'm also gonna push while I'm down there for them to look at Aitkin County to put warehouses.
Did he ask how many times you're gonna say naturally better?
Not one.
Something's wrong. Commissioners, Administrator, any other general comments?
Just clarification, the first meeting in November will be the 12th because of the Veterans Day holiday. So you'll miss the meeting on the 12th, is that?
Right, I'm
Okay.
leaving the 9th.
Perfect.
I should have said that the
No,
right way.
just wanted to be sure that nobody was planning to be here on the 9th.
Ninth
for a meeting.
Sunday,
We're having a
Planning
commission
on being
meeting
here
on the
the
12th.
12th.
Be in deer stands. That opens what, the 7th, isn't it?
8th, I believe,
Eighth.
Saturday, yep.
Anything else?
I just switched it.
Big buck contest, if you could send that out, I'll buy that section pizza.
Sounds good. Mark, we're just ready to adjourn, but any comments you want to make? I think Commissioner Sample may have had a comment or.
Yeah, not during the public session, I'll wait.
Oh, you got your boxing gloves?
All right.
Entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved, Chair.
Okay, Commissioner Carney moves adjournment.
Support.
Supported Commissioner LaVisca, non-debatable. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion's carried. This
Thanks for
meeting
them
stands
pamphlets,
adjourned.
Mark.
Pardon?
I just told him,
Oh,
thanks for
What's
them
up,
Mark J. Thank you. And again, welcome, Kat.
Thank you.
So I'm listening online, I can hear what you're saying. He'll say naturally better about 100 times.